perfection and the energy of the play. From the first note, you think we are here for a treat. When you hear something and it's just exactly as you would dream it, so it is, for me it is wonderful. It's not musical instruments, these musical instruments have names and have faces. Each musician is an artist and they have their own way of making music, their own ambitions, their own problems, their own everything. My job is to focus the energy of every musician. My job is to give meaning to these notes. I am Jaime Martin. This is Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra. The best music performed by the best musicians. You cannot miss it.
Bien provecho. I would just like to say Jaime Martin was born in Santander, Spain. Jaime was selected as music director following an extensive international search. He began his tenure with the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra this season and succeeds Jeffrey Cahan, who stepped down as music director in June of 2017. Many conductors were acclaimed players at first, but Jaime's transformation came a little later in life than for most. In his life, it is a true and mid-career change success story. Jaime first made his mark playing the flute, initially in his native Spain, where he became a member of the National Youth Orchestra of Spain at the age of 13. He went on to become principal flute with the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, conducted by Mariner, who was a friend and mentor. Later came principal flute positions with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and the London Philharmonic Orchestra. Like many of Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra's own acclaimed players, he took jobs as a studio musician recording movie scores. Just listen for him on the soundtrack of The Hobbit. And for years, he traveled the world as a guest soloist, performing with many of the world's leading orchestras. He remembers that at a time he didn't want to change this routine, even if it meant missing out on a chance to conduct. That desire had long been an interest of his, but remained dormant for some years. If he stopped what he was doing and embarked on a career track as a conductor, he ran the risk of losing access to the rarefied classical music world of which he was already a part of. But the baton kept calling. Since turning to conducting in 2013, Jaime has received worldwide attention as a conductor. Since then, he has worked with an impressive list of orchestras, including the London Philharmonic, the Frankfurt Radio Symphony, the Royal Scottish National, Barcelona Symphony, and many, many more. Jaime's gift of unlocking radiance and emotion, and I've seen it firsthand, is truly transformative, leading to captivating performances. He now enjoys working with many of his former students in orchestras around the world. We want to thank him for being here today. We want to thank him for his commitment to keeping the orchestral music alive and fresh. With that, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Jaime to you and to share a few words. Please welcome him.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everybody. Buenos días a todos. As Hilda was saying, I was born in Spain, Santander. And, I feel I am very new in this city, in LA, and I feel that Los Angeles has opened its arms to me, and in a way I feel almost like part of the family here. So I thank everybody for that. Los Angeles is a city that over the years has embraced industry, technology, and of course the arts. But for me, the most important thing about LA is that this is a city that has embraced and welcomed people like me, people coming from a different country, from a different culture, and making people feel at home. I am Spanish, and my first language as you can hear, is Spanish. And although music is incredibly important, and after me you will hear a group of music students, which I think this is absolutely the whole essence of what we do. But so to play concerts is very important, to play concerts at a high level, but I think my commitment and the commitment of the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra is not only to do that, but to serve the community the best way we can. And through music, we want to bring people together. We have several projects that involve education not only with school kids, but also with adults. We have a big project coming up in September that we talked about, and I don't need to bore you with this, but we are trying to do what we can to bring people together. I think the language of music is something that will help all of us. And from the bottom of my heart, I really thank all of you for making me feel at home. So thank you very much, Lita.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have one more, I think, exciting presentation. And this consists of our students that have been playing for us as we entered into our meeting today. And alongside with me, this is known as the Neighborhood Music School. And Karen Lewis, Executive Director from the Neighborhood Music School, will be with me and will make a few remarks after our presentation. Madam Chair, I hope some of you in the audience got to hear the beautiful music that was played earlier this morning. Those were the first district students from the Neighborhood Music School, located in the charming Victorian house in Boyle Heights, the first district. The Neighborhood Music School serves as an anchor to our community on the east side. It is a bridge to cultural exchange and opportunity, and an usher to the mentorship between teacher and student that's integral in music instruction and life. It was founded back in 1914 as a settlement school to assist immigrant children. The school, as you know, continues to be a beacon of hope in our community, and it is a home away from home for many of our students. The Neighborhood Music School not only provides quality music education, but touches the hearts, minds, and souls of every student who walks through its doors. They currently offer instruction in piano, violin, viola, cello, percussion, guitar, trumpet, flute, clarinet, saxophone, ukulele, and voice. As students become more proficient in expressing themselves through singing or playing an instrument, they gain poise, self-assurance, and empowerment. Research has demonstrated that musical expression positively affects self-esteem, test-taking success, and better school performance, and so much more. Their mission is not only to teach music, but to help students develop the joys and wonders and skills that passively arise from a multifaceted music education. Organizations like the Neighborhood Music School are a critical component to helping us increase access to the arts. As someone who consistently advocates for increased diversity and access to the arts, I'm honored to join many of the fellow students here today and was happy to be with them last month at their annual gala, where I not only got to experience their incredible talents, but was honored to receive the 2019 President's Award. I want to thank their board and their supporters and their parents, because what they are showing us today is the hope and future of many, many musicians that come out of Los Angeles County, no matter where you grow up. and whose family or where you reside. It's so critically important. So for now, I would like to ask if our neighborhood music school students would perform one quick gesture for us.
Say that I'm crazy or call me a fool. But last night it seemed that I dreamed about you. When I opened my mouth, what came out was a song, and you knew every word, and we all sang along to a melody playing at the strings of our song, and a music that made us back to the
Wow, what a beautiful performance. Another round of applause. Our neighborhood music school. What an honor. What an honor to be with these young people. And next I'd like to ask Karen if she would please say a few words on behalf of the neighborhood music school. Thank you so much for being here and bringing us joy this morning.
Thank you, Supervisor Solis, and thank you to the full board of supervisors and everyone who's here today. The Neighborhood Music School was founded in 1914 as a settlement house to teach English and music to the immigrant communities of Boyle Heights. Our founders knew then, as we know now, the transformative and formative power of arts and culture, particularly in music, and how it affects all of our lives for the better. 105 years later, our mission to inspire minds and enrich community through music education is strong and it's deep. We are an artistic home to 350 students, 22 teaching artists, and generations of families who come to our Victorian house on Boyle Avenue and 4th for accessible, low-cost, high-quality one-on-one music instruction. And I invite you all to come join us as well. We are proud to serve as an artistic home, as an usher to the mentorship between teacher and students, and as an anchor to the community as we connect the many cultural offerings of Los Angeles with the lives and livelihood of our neighborhood music school and all of us. So I would like to particularly thank the Board of Supervisors for really putting a focus and an effort and an understanding and an implementation of the power of arts and culture in Los Angeles and in all of our lives. So thank you very much for all of this, and thank you so much to our amazing performers. I'm so proud of all of you. You do great work.
Well, I think we should give that presentation from these young people another round of applause. Very special. Very special. Thank you, Supervisor Solis. That was inspiring. We're grateful for inspiration today. Well, when we think about inspiration, I believe we should think about the name of Corita Kent. I want to take this opportunity to say just a word about her and introduce these wonderful guests who are here with us today. So thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. Today, we recognize the Immaculate Heart community as they mark the 101st birthday of the world-renowned artist and social justice activist, Corita Kent. And Corita, that's right, give her a round of applause. Corita was known for challenging her students and the views of what is perceived as art. She encouraged her students to view their surroundings through a different lens, as you will see in this brief video. Please take a look.
You have no distinction between what is art and what is not art. You do everything as well as you can. This is going to be a 2-hour looking session, and there really is enough to look at for 16 hours at least. You can bring with you a little piece of cardboard in the center of which you have cut out a tiny rectangle, well, not bigger than an inch, which you'll use for a finder. And as soon as you let the whole place kind of surround you, then you can take your finder and you do what a moving picture person does. He cuts off everything else and focuses on one small little place and lets you look at that. Sometimes you can take the whole of the world in, and sometimes you need a small piece to take in. And I think that's really what a work of art is, even though we don't have works of art anymore. It's a small piece that you can digest, which gives you a kind of idea of the richness that is in the whole.
Well, you can read it for yourself, but I want to quote from the clip we just saw. We have no art. We do everything as well as we can. And I quote from the one and only Corita Kent. It's no accident that Corita's work found a home, the Immaculate Heart College, an institution steeped in promoting the values of service leadership and humanitarianism in its students. I'd like to welcome and recognize those who do this well, who elevate Corita's legacy, her work. They are Carol Sulkin, President of the Immaculate Heart Community. Give Carol a big round of applause, won't you? and Nellie Scott, the director of the Corita Art Center. Give her a big round of applause. Corita was a prolific artist, having created almost 800 serigraph editions and thousands of watercolors. But she did not create art just for the sake of creating art. It had a purpose, it had a charge, and it had a mission. She wanted to use art to overcome social injustices, empower the least fortunate among us, and improve their condition. She recognized the need to ensure that all communities share in the benefit of the arts, a need that has been a priority of mine since being in public office and certainly my tenure on the Board of Supervisors. I'm pleased to be with a range of individuals who represent districts 1 through 5 who share those values that embrace of the arts. The Los Angeles County Department of Arts and Culture has championed the Cultural Equity and Inclusion Initiative that was initially led by Supervisors Solis. And so we give the Department of Arts and Culture a big round of applause. Kristen Sakota is here, and we're pleased about that. So this initiative has led, among other things, the placement of creative strategists within the county departments to help address complex social challenges. And I think Corita would be very happy about that. And the county is also creating pathways into careers in our robust creative economy for underrepresented communities. This is an emerging area of great opportunity. In order to capitalize on the opportunities of the creative economy, we need the service of arts educators, more Coritas, now more than ever. It was in 1977 that the Immaculate Heart community made a commitment to Corita, her legacy, by creating the Corita Art Center. Now in its 22nd year, the Corita Art Center preserves and promotes Corita's art, her teachings, and her passion for social justice. This year's celebration of Corita Kent Day is an opportunity to reflect on the significant advancements in the arts and what is yet to come. So it's my honor to proclaim November 20th, 2019 as Corita Kent Day throughout the county of Los Angeles in honor and in celebration of this world-renowned artist, the one and only Corita Kent. Let's give her a big round of applause. A big round of applause for Corita Kent and all she stood for. Well, now I'd like to invite Carol and then Nellie to say just a few words. Carol, come forward.
Thank you so much. And really, it's my pleasure as president of the Immaculate Heart community to be standing here today and looking out at all of you. And thank you, Supervisor Thomas, for bringing this forward. The Immaculate Heart community, and some of you, I recognized a couple of you here in the audience today, have attended some of our educational institutions over the years. So just a tiny bit of history. The Immaculate Heart community has very deep roots in Los Angeles. We've been here for over 133 years. We established our mother house and novitiate at the corner of Western and Franklin in 1905, and that's when the roads were dirt and there were cows grazing in our front lawn, literally. In 1906, we began Immaculate Heart High School, which is still educating girls with great heart and into leadership and a fine education today. And in 1916, we opened Immaculate Heart College, and it was accredited very quickly by the state of California and served the educational needs of the community for 64 years. We later established a retreat center in Santa Barbara, and established 3 hospitals, one of them in West Covina, Queen of the Valley Hospital, which is now part of a collaborative that's named Emanate Health, 3 hospitals in that area. I share this because the context in which we grow up and discover our path in life is very important. Karita entered our community right out of high school at barely 18 years of age in 1936. It was the context, that rich context, and the challenge of community life and the draw for her to discover her sense of spirituality and faith that also allowed her to discover her vocation as a teacher and as an artist. We continue as a community and many of her friends and admirers to be inspired by the legacy of Karita, who insisted that we open our eyes and our hearts to really see the world around us. She showed us how to make the connection between the sacred and all aspects of everyday life. The bread which is enriched in the breaking and the sharing of it with others. To open doors and to set hearts free. In 1970, our community was refounded and expanded into an ecumenical faith community, which now includes Protestant as well as Roman Catholic members, men as well as women. Today, you'll find some of our members still serving in parishes and schools, in hospitals and retreat work, in courtrooms and jails, and among those who are now homeless. We are engaged in the issues of justice for women, for the environment, for immigrants and refugees. We believe in the importance of building bridges between the haves and the have-nots and discovering our various gifts. We share Karita's belief that each person can make a difference in the world and become an agent for change, stirring up hope and right action for a more just and joyful world. I thank you, Board of Supervisors, for recognizing the artist in your midst during her life and now with the dedication of this day. And we thank you for recognizing the possibility in one another. Who knows who the artists are sitting out here today? They're present. We each carry a piece of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol. My name is Nellie Scott, and I am the director of the Karita Art Center.